hope this one is more interesting than the last.
How is it going, everybody? Scott the MassNERDerer here, and welcome to another episode of NerdTalk Be Advised. This is a special episode all about Medal of Honor Warfighter, and special because of our guest. If you guys are new to it and you're watching it on YouTube, if you want to skip ahead at any time, skip our intro, skip to one of the topics, look down below. You can click on any of the topics down there, fast forward. Say you don't like the podcast, you just want to go check out some of the awesome people here, click on our faces, it'll take you straight to our YouTube channel. And for you guys live, we appreciate you guys hanging out. Crazy Days, True Tactics, MsNERDerer, Nova Dragon, Jammin's in here. Who else might be in here? A few other people. I think that's got the most of the ones just chatting. So we appreciate you coming to the live stream, hanging out with us, getting in the chat. As always, if you're trying to get our attention to get when we're talking, put at NerdTalk, at Jammin, at not Jammin. You could if you want to talk to him, at Culprit, at Pappa, at whatever, and you know it will stand out a little bit more to us. So, like I said, we have a special guest here. You guys know Culprit, one of our regular hosts here. But then we got BanditoGaming down here, who has been doing a lot of stuff on YouTube back from Battlefield 3. Been getting into Medal of Honor. It's seen some Medal of Honor 2010 on his channel already, if you want to check that out. Been doing really well. And moving into Medal of Honor Warfighter. So, Bandito, we really appreciate you coming and hanging out with us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
And then we have up here in the top right, that's Pappa2791. I'm sure you guys have seen him. He's been doing also a lot of Battlefield 3 and moving into Medal of Honor Warfighter as well. So we're excited to have both these guys on here, and I'm personally very excited to get a chance to chat with these guys. So hey, Pappa, thank you for coming as well.
Thanks very much, mate. Really appreciate the chance to come on today.
Yeah. God, that accent, you get an advantage over us.
Multinational, man. We are branching out. I love it. Worldwide.
So, you know, typically we start off these shows just a little introduction here, so you get to know, you know, how everyone has been doing and get to know these guys a little bit better before we jump into strictly Medal of Honor. So, like I said, you want to skip ahead, just click down there. If you're in the chat, you guys are going to not be listening to us in a minute and just focus on the chat anyway, so it's no big deal. But, so, I mean, if you guys want to, I mean, we'll start with Pappa. If you have anything, like a brief introduction you want to share, and that can be personal, your YouTube channel, whatever you'd like.
Absolutely. Thanks, Scott. Pappa2791, as most people can work out in the flag on the screen now, I'm an Australian. Been YouTubing since the start of the year. Started out with Battlefield 3, my main game, and but I really became excited about Medal of Honor Warfighter coming out. Only got it the day before yesterday, and been spending a heap of time on it, really enjoying it. Basically love first-person shooters. And that's pretty much it. And as I said, really excited to be part of this today because there's a lot of talk going on about the new game, and I'd like to be able to have my say as well.
Yeah, definitely. We appreciate that. And Bandito, how about you? A little brief intro?
So my name is Mario. Thank you, Scott. Thank you for having me here tonight. I'm really excited, actually.
Yeah.
So I created my channel, I think, in 2011, if I recall correctly. I uploaded a lot of Killzone back in the day, but I don't know if you're familiar with the game. I really like Killzone. So it's one of those first-person shooters that are exclusive to the PS3. Kind of a Halo, but better. No, just kidding. Of course, everyone loves Halo.
Yeah, Halo 4, be careful.
Yeah, I know. But then I started playing Battlefield Bad Company 2. I didn't play it a lot until the release of Battlefield 3. That's when I actually started playing more Battlefield in general. And I played a little bit of Medal of Honor 2010, and now I'm playing more of Medal of Honor Warfighter.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it, briefly, yeah.
Great. And Culprit, I guess you said it's been a while since we've had you on the show, right? You missed a week. We took 2 weeks off. So
yeah.
What's been going on with you?
Working, man. I keep thinking it's going to slow down. It just never does. So I think that's just my life now. So
you picked up 2010 though, right? Within this time.
2010 or you Warfighter? You mean?
You picked up 2010 as well.
Yeah,
right?
I did. I picked that up a while ago. I don't know why. I don't remember. It must have been on sale or something. And yeah, I wanted to see. I wanted to educate myself a little bit, but I didn't play it much. It was very frustrating, and I didn't see. You know, I just got a little background, got out. Played the campaign a little bit, but I haven't even finished that either.
Understandable. The campaign's good. It's short, but it's good. But anyway, that is not what we're here to talk about. So, again, we appreciate you all hanging out here. All you guys in the chat, we appreciate you guys coming and hanging out and supporting us. Make sure you go check out these guys as well, all our guests here, our hosts, because they're pretty awesome. Now we're going to get into what we want to be talking about, and that is Medal of Honor Warfighter. And we got a lot of stuff we're going to be talking about here. We're going to start off with sort of our favorites, and we'll go through some of our favorites. And again, we'd love to hear back from you guys in the chat. Let us know what your favorites are. So what I thought we'd start off here is maybe favorite game mode. I mean, I know it's only been on a week, and we probably don't have that much time. I haven't even played all the game modes yet, but I'd love to hear, if you guys have some favorite game modes, and we'll start there, and we'll see where we can go from there. So, you guys want to, or actually, if you have any favorite moments, maybe we could even start there. Let's do that. Let's start there. I think that's what the plan was. I looked at the topics here. I'm like, wait a minute, this looks out of order. Game mode's the second.
Happy to start it off. I'm happy to start it off, Scott.
Yeah.
The very first thing I did when I got the game was went in and played the campaign.
Okay.
And one thing that really stuck out of me about the campaign, I haven't heard anybody mention this yet, the story's great, but the sound on that is just amazing. If you're going to play the campaign, put on the headphones, turn it up loud, and the moment it loads up, the soundtrack behind it and all the game, it really struck me. I thought, talk about a favourite moment. That to me, I thought, gee, this is going to be awesome, because it really just got you into the mood and really set the scene, and very atmospheric.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about the audio for sure.
Yeah. As we go into multiplayer, I think the audio is great there. But have you played 2010, Papa?
No, I haven't, and I was going to get it back when it came out, but didn't for a number of reasons. But seeing just in recent weeks and months people being playing it in these sort of preview videos, I wish I had. And I certainly now, after having played the campaign, I want to go back and play the 2010 campaign just to get that backstory.
Yeah, I heard there were carryovers there, so that's great. Bandito, what about you? Any favorite moments so far?
Spawning out of bounds, I would say. No, the truth is that I really like the campaign. I had the opportunity of playing 2010. Comparing both games, it looks to me that this game is better.
Yeah.
Overall, mostly because the developer for 2010 there were two different developers, and it felt like the multiplayer was different to the single player.
Right. Yeah.
And right now it feels like you can say anything you want that is bad or is good, but it feels like both were developed by the same team.
Yeah.
And
so you can play the campaign and head over to the multiplayer, and it's all.
Yeah.
You feel the same.
Yeah.
That campaign really is great training, I think, for multiplayer to get used to all the buttons and the setups and aiming and all of that.
Maybe I should try it then.
Yeah, I haven't put on the campaign yet, but I'm definitely want to play it. I've heard
the graphics in the campaign are beautiful. I mean, I don't know if you're playing on the Xbox or you're playing on the PS3, but
PS3.
I mean, I don't think it matters anyway, because what I'm seeing is that both consoles or even the PC, they look so really beautiful. It's not CGI. It looks, I don't know what is it, but it's not CGI. It looks really cool, man.
And we actually, Bandito and Papa, in case anyone of the viewers are wondering, are PS3 players, and we definitely wanted to get a PS3 presence here. Colbert's on the PC, so he can sort of represent that, and then I'm on the Xbox. So we wanted to make sure we got all the platforms here. I guess minus Wii, but I don't even know if the game released on Wii. Make sure we get all the things. So, Colbert, how about you? Have you had a sort of favorite moment so far, a favorite aspect or anything?
You guys hear me? You broke up a little bit.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, me. Probably the first time I got an actual communicative buddy or a Fireteam guy. I played solo for a while. Just kind of, I like to do that. Just kind of lone wolf it, get my settings, get all that stuff, my key buttons. So it was a couple hours before I even teamed up with somebody, and then you tried a little bit, couldn't get it right, and then finally, I think it was actually Nova. Was it Nova the first? I think so. And it was like a different game. Man, it was like, wow, okay. I was starting to get frustrated, and then just tried out. I was like, all right, I see this. I see how this is gonna work. So that was so far. I mean, I haven't played a ton, but that was definitely like an eye opener for me. It was like, all right, this game, I got to keep going with this game,
I didn't put this in our listening to talk about. This might be a great little starting topic here right here in the beginning. It's sort of discuss Fireteams versus Squad, since we've all played Battlefield 3, and I think I heard some speculative before it launched, some worries like, wow, just 2 people, maybe that's not enough, but I'd love to hear, from everyone, sort of where you're at in that aspect. And before we do that, I guess I forgot to say my favorite moment, and I won't go into detail right now, but today I actually, from MP First, I've been talking with David over there, one of the co-founders of MP First. He invited me to play with the developers, play against the developers of the game today, and so I streamed it. We played against, it was 6v6 home run. We had me, David, Gaming with Mac, and I don't remember. Puppy was in there. The Puppy was in there. Oh gosh, Geiger's was in there.
Yeah,
and
I was
one
trying to
other
remember
person
his
I
name.
didn't know.
I watched a little bit actually.
Yeah, and it was. I mean, honestly, I started off. I did horrible. I was like 1-11 the whole first game, and it was I'm streaming it. The people in the stream are ripping. I have MrTehPuppy in there. You know, my #1 troll. Then Lizzie came in, and she got it. You know, whenever there's another girl, she takes their side no matter what. And it was intense. It was I was getting upset. I'm like, oh my gosh, and it was. And then we turned it around, and we actually tied. It was the first match they won, the second match we won, and then third went to a draw at the very end. And that was so intense. We talked to the developers afterward just a little bit, and they were standing up in their seats because it was so intense. So that was my favorite moment. But now,
so they've already played the game more than Dice played Battlefield 3.
Yeah, and they were good. I mean, I was surprised because Dice on Battlefield 3 was never anything special from what I've seen.
No.
But these guys were good. I mean, they used teamwork well. They were definitely. I mean, they were covering each other, and it was intense. It was good matches. I mean, they definitely knew all the sweet spots. I'm hoping to share those gameplay, and hopefully some of you smarter tacticians like Bandito will be like, "Oh, I see where they're at," and then you'll be able to share. Because I don't know where they were at. I'm getting come like I have no clue where they're from, but some of you guys will figure it out and share it with me. So, all right. So Fireteams. Let's start with you, Bandito. Compare if you have opinions. Fireteam versus squad system. Do you like one better? Are they just different, or?
I mean, I think they are the same, but it depends on the game.
Okay.
For Battlefield 3, maps are bigger.
Yeah.
Thus, you need a bigger squad.
Yeah.
And since this Medal of Honor Warfighter, the maps are not as small as close quarters in Battlefield 3, but are like also medium size.
Yeah.
And I think
They feel small.
do you think they're? I mean they're small, but not compared to close quarters.
Nah.
I think they are both similar, and I think the implementation of this fire team mechanic is a great thing. You don't actually need to know your body to play the fire team. You know, to play as a fire team, which is one of the things that is really complicated in Battlefield 3. That you actually need to talk to your squad, and at least they need to understand each other. And I think the specializations I don't think we have specializations in Medal of Honor Warfighter, which is one of the things I like about this fire team mechanic. That you can share and heal. You can share your ammo. You can heal your teammate without being a medic or without being a support guy. And although
you can do it all, and
you can do it all, and you get points for free just for being closer to your teammate. I mean, you don't have to shoot anything. If you are stay close to your body, you get 10 points every now and then.
Yeah, if they get an Apache, you get an Apache.
Yeah, so it's really cool.
Papa, what's your opinion here?
I like it, and probably the thing that struck me the most, and I guess I should change the subject to Battlefield 3. What frustrates me most in Battlefield 3 at the moment is having to rely on people, support players particularly, to throw down ammo.
Oh yeah,
which
seriously.
So many people just don't do. You know, and they just don't do it, which makes no sense to me. In this game, you're in complete control of that. You want ammo? Find your buddy, press the button, you've got it.
Yeah, they don't have to do anything. You just have to be able to catch them.
Yeah,
that's exactly it. So to that end, absolutely brilliant idea. Absolutely brilliant. I just love the whole fire team thing.
Also, just one tiny thing, and one of the cool things that I really like is spawning on your body. You cannot spawn on your body if your body is in danger.
Yeah.
So that's a beautiful thing. That's one of the things that I like the most.
I don't like how the timer resets stuff. Like it should just hold. Yeah. That's my one. I like it because you don't get those stupid respawns, or vice versa. When you're shooting somebody, his buddy doesn't pop out of his butt and take your bullets.
That's a good point. I didn't think of it that way, culprit.
But I don't like how you wait 5 seconds, and especially like you're saying when you're not in comms with the guy, you're just lone wolf and it's a random. He doesn't stop and get in cover. He don't. So you're sitting there like, I really don't want to go fall back, but it's like 5 seconds, 0. Then it goes back to 5 seconds. Then it's back to 5. You're like,
that's a problem with the PS3 at the moment. VoIP isn't working during the rounds. It only works between rounds. So you can't say to your buddy, "Hey mate, just lay low for a second while I spawn in." I think my first. Yep.
I'm hoping people become more aware to the thing that pops up. I think right now people just don't see it.
But wasn't VoIP an issue with Battlefield 3 on PS3 as well?
Absolutely.
It is still, yeah.
That's sort of disappointing.
Yeah.
That's,
maybe it's a fraud
doesn't have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
maybe it's a Frostbite 2 thing. I don't know.
Who knows?
Actually, I was thinking that this morning. Maybe it is a Frostbite thing, because that's the thing they have in common, the two games, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows?
Yeah. Well,
it's funny because they said you couldn't cook grenades, but obviously Medal of Honor figured out how to do it. So
yeah.
I don't know what is BS and what's actually engine based. So
yeah. So going back to the Fireteam thing, I feel like, I at first I didn't like it as much. I'm like, it's sort of gimping me because I always play with my friends, and I sort of like to be in comms with them. So like when I played Call of Duty, we were always a team, 6 of us roll in and we'd go in. Then we came to Battlefield 3. I'm like, if you play with, multiple people outside of your squad in the chat, it sort of gets chaotic, and you don't know where the other people are, and because the maps are so big, you can be on the other side, and it's so difficult to be able to like coordinate, and I just feel like it got clumsy, so I only played with 4 people, and that's sort of all I did for all of Battlefield 3. And then I came here, I'm like, wow, now I'm going to only play 2 people? Like, I have more friends than this. I want to play with my friends.
Right. That's my gripe.
But because of the maps, I felt like, man, you can still really be a team dynamic. So I can bring 6 people in, we can be in different fire teams, and we can still really work together, and sort of like, so I found that actually, I like it, and then I sort of like, I think I might like it more than squads, because I felt like squads limited me, where fire teams is just like, here's a little bonus, but it doesn't mean you can't work with your whole team anyway, and so I think it's a nice, happy medium in between squads and none.
You guys have some more hours, I think, than I do. Maybe probably City. I'm able to heal and resupply some people that aren't in my fire team. What's up with that? Is that a bug?
I've seen that happen. Yeah, I don't know. I was asking the same question myself.
I'm definitely able to do that, and I can't figure out what that's about. And I don't know if it's just a bug or just something we don't know. I think Nova, we ran into that, right?
People who aren't in a fire team, perhaps.
That's
they don't
what I was
have a fire team
thinking.
buddy.
The lone wolves can almost heal each other and do that, because
We'll
it definitely happens.
Tests.
So, yeah, that was kind of weird to me. I didn't understand that.
Look into that. We got, so in the chats, Fox Demon here saying it's a certain class. Fox Demon, I don't know if you have what class you know specifically what it's for, anything on that level, because I don't think it's supposed to happen. It did happen in the beta. The heavy gunner or the demolitions, or
I've never played heavy gunner, so it's not that.
One of those guys
I don't think so, no.
Give ammo to anyone.
No, all of them give ammo.
I wondered that, but I personally have only played Spec Ops and Assaulters thus far. So.
Yeah, I found that. Yeah, they say. So I don't know. Well, that's something I want to look more into.
Maybe, I think maybe it could be a glitch. I mean, the game was released like 3 days ago.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's what it is.
I just didn't know if it was intentional or if it's just something that kind of slipped through the cracks. Cause, I mean, it's good for me as a lone wolf. I tend to play lone wolf a lot because I get a lot of like short bursts of times.
Yeah.
So like somebody went out for a nap or I'm just home for 30 minutes. I want to play, but I don't want to go through the problems of getting everybody organized. So I just jump on, and so that helped me. And I was like, well, how does this work? I didn't understand that this is how that's supposed to work. So.
All right, so
I haven't figured that out yet.
Hopefully we'll see what's going on there. But let's move into talking about game modes and maps. Unless anyone else has any comments here. Nope. All right, jumping forward. So now I would like to sort of bring up. I mean, I guess we can discuss what game modes we've played. I don't know if anyone hasn't played all of them like me. I guess I get hung up in just one. But we'll start with game modes, and then we can also, if you guys want to mention, if you like any maps. I don't know the map names, and I meant to look them up before I came, but unfortunately that did not happen.
I don't know names either.
Pappa, if you want to start us off, I mean, you got what game modes you liking? Are you liking all of them? Not liking one specifically, and any maps maybe?
Okay. The ones I've played the most have been Team Deathmatch and Sector Control.
Okay.
And I really like Team Deathmatch. I think it's probably the best version of Team Deathmatch that I've played.
Yeah.
And that would be comparing it to COD and Battlefield 3. The maps just seem to work really well. It seems like you're in a lot more control of your destiny. In COD and in Battlefield 3, people seem to sort of spawn all over the place. But here, if you sort of watch your corners and move around, and when you die, you feel you deserve to die, and when you get a kill, it seems very satisfying. So I like that. Sector Control, I really enjoyed. It's just going back to the old days of COD domination, and that's I liked it. Haven't really played many of the other ones. I've been trying to get into a game of Home Run, but every time I go in through the menu, it puts me into a game with no other players. So there's something there. I can't get into a Home Run game, but that's what I've played so far.
Great, yeah, and I want to just comment on Team Deathmatch. I was actually pleasantly surprised. That's why I jumped in first. I figured I was by myself. I'm like, okay, I don't need to rely on a team. I can just sort of get a feel for the gun, and I jumped in Team Deathmatch, and I mean, at no point did I feel like I was screwed in a corner of a map. I was spawn trapped. I felt like it was smooth. I had multiple routes, and I liked it. And you could also sort of predict when the spawns are gonna flip, but the spawns never flipped and flipped them right on you. It sort of, so yeah, I enjoyed that. I haven't played Sector Control yet. Culprit, you want to go with?
Yeah, I'm the same thing. I played a lot of TDM. Probably if I've played, I don't know, 50 matches, probably 30 of them are TDM. Just like I said, just figuring out settings and key bindings.
Yeah.
And like combat mission, I can't decide if I love it or I hate it. I can't. It's like it depends on the map. It's like I tend to like linear gameplay, like Rush and Battlefield. Like where the story is told and unfolds. You got battle lines and all that. So you guys know I don't like randomness. But in this game, it's so choke pointy that some maps you're just banging your head against the wall over and over and over, and it's really frustrating. But other maps, it's like, wow, that was awesome. Like it was like you had a clear objective, you're fighting, you're hit. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So that one I've had mixed. Like one match, I'm like, oh, I'm so uploading that. That's awesome. And then the next match, I'm like, I'm never playing that again. It's still with me. I'm not that good yet. But,
yeah.
I mean, Sector Control I kind of left alone because I know what that is.
Yeah.
What did I play? A Hotspot, but I played a lot of it in the beta, so I kind of avoided that as well. What's the other one? Real Ops, and I haven't touched any of the other ones.
Yeah,
really,
Real Ops is hardcore.
What is that? I don't even know what that is. That's hardcore?
A mix between... Anyone know? Bandito, do you know? Or Pappa?
I think it is like basically hardcore.
It's but it's two game modes. It's Team Deathmatch and another one, and they mix them in.
Yeah, I honestly haven't played that game.
Yeah,
I haven't played that one. I think I played one of Home Run, but I didn't actually.
Yeah, I haven't touched that either. I want to, but I haven't touched it.
I didn't do anything. I joined, I win the round, so it's like okay. And then I play some Sector Control, which I think is one of my favorites.
Okay, too.
And combat mission, I agree with Culprit. It depends on the map a lot. It depends a lot on the map, but still, I think the design of the map design is cool. They have different routes. They have choke points from time to time, but all of them have different routes. That's one of the things I like.
They're all in any map with those choke points, and there are a lot of them. There's always another way to get around.
Yeah.
If you go looking for it, there is another way to get around the back, and usually two other ways to get around the back. So if you just forget about the choke point, you will be able to find another way to get there.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing. I just got to learn the maps. I just haven't played enough, and so I get frustrated, and I get taken advantage of because I don't know what's coming, and obviously those guys that do, I just get chewed up. So I rage a little bit, I get frustrated, but then you just take a minute and you go, yeah, it's because I'm a noob,
Yeah.
I was there, and every other game is just got to learn the maps.
So Bandito, can you compare the new combat mission to 2010? I mean, do you think it's improved the same, or was it not?
It's different. It's a different game. It's like a better game. It's not as bad. 2010 wasn't bad, but people didn't like it because it was too authentic. You died in 3 bullets, and it was like, bam, dead, and then spawned dead. It was really frustrating. But this one is more. It feels more like Battlefield. You die maybe half of magazine.
Yeah.
I think there is a huge improvement.
Yeah.
You feel the same, basically the same thing. You go on Conquest or Rush, it's basically the same thing. And I think the best improvement here in this game is the maps and probably the health.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
And then, so Clouded, we got welcome Clouded. He's in the chat here, and he's making a lot more close quarters in 2010.
Yeah.
And I think in that aspect as well, so my time on 2010, I played some of the multiplayer there as well. Sometimes you just get sniped from long distance and feel like you
shorter
get trapped.
sightlines.
Here, I feel like they've definitely worked out the sightlines where there are some sightlines, but they're shorter, and you're not, so you don't get pinned down as much. Do you would you agree in the combat? Yeah. And what other?
Go ahead, man.
I was gonna say, what other combat mission we talked about? But so, what's your favorite game mode so far? Do you have one or?
I don't. I play a lot of Sector Control. I haven't played too much of. I want to play Home Run.
Yeah.
But I think you need to have a body to play the game mode. You cannot just go along and play with randoms.
Yeah.
You can, but it's much
likely do much better.
Lose. Yeah.
That's what we played for our thing today, and Home Run was actually a pretty good time. Now I could feel it when, like you said, if you don't come with a buddy, it's probably one of those. If you guys have played Call of Duty, whatever the game mode's called,
Search and Destroy.
Search and Destroy. Some people can do really good there, but I feel like this one's a little different because of the way it's sort of set up that you sort of need teamwork a little bit more.
Well,
so.
that's I was going to ask. Is that like Squad Rush, where if you can't play with randoms, you almost have to have an organized match kind of thing? That's why I haven't gone in it. I'm not going to go play with.
I guess if you're playing
randoms.
another unorganized team, guys who are good, I think we'll probably see people who like wipe the whole other team. It's going to be one guy and he's going to get 6 kills, and we're going to see that a little bit.
Right.
But if you have anyone communicating, because it's sort of the setup of Medal of Honor, if you kill someone, you're exposed. That other person's going to know where you are. And if you don't have someone communicating or watching your back, you're going to be low health. They're going to know where you're at, and they're going to, get you down. So, but it was
just on that. Could I just ask, in terms of when you kill somebody and you show up on the opposite TV with that red outline around you, that seems to disappear quite quickly.
Yes.
And the way people were describing it in the beta, it was like you were marked for a really long period of time. Has that changed since then? Because I didn't get to play the beta.
I can't say I've noticed.
It looks like it goes away quicker. It does, and I didn't even take note of it until you said it, because from the beta, I had a lot more time in the beta, and I was killing, and then I'd see the red mark and then go away, and I always expected it to be there. I didn't even think about it, but I think it has shortened, and also in home run, you don't get the kill cam, and the kill cam is not amazing, but sort of like aims at where they were when they killed you.
Yep.
You don't see that anymore. It doesn't show you anything about their position. So it gives you that little bit as well. So you have to really have a good idea of what was going on to get that, to know where they killed you from. But I do think it's a little short. Yeah, we got Rebel Forged in the chat here saying it is shorter, so he's confirming.
That's good. Good on them then.
Yeah, I think that's smart. And it's great. All right, and maps. So we talked a little bit about map design. I think, especially in Team Deathmatch and in Home Run, and I played a little bit of whichever one we had in the beta. I mean, the maps, obviously there's some objectives which are harder than others, but I'm thinking it's honestly like it really is set up well, and I don't feel like I've ever felt like I'm trapped, it's hopeless, or anytime they get a good position, you can move, or you can make it work, and I've loved the maps. I haven't found any map I dislike. I haven't, I'm really pleased with the maps. What do you guys think? And if you know the names, please share. We'll start with you, Bandito. We'll go in the opposite direction.
Yeah, I don't know the names. I just the jungle one, the one that with the buildings around it. Like,
Lighthouse, yeah.
I don't know the name of the map.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them have these weird names, so
yeah, they really
I don't recall all of them.
Wouldn't know the names all, but what are you thinking about them in general? You said a little bit, but
I really like them. So far, I really like them. Even when I'm playing, I mean, most of the time my complaint is when I'm playing Team Deathmatch, because the spawning, when you spawn behind the enemies, which I think is still happening. I don't know if they fixed that already, but I think so far the design is good. I mean, in general, the maps are well designed. You have different routes. I mean, Coldbreak already said that, and Pappa already said that. You have choke points from time to time, but you have different routes, and I think so far I'm pleased. I'm surprisingly pleased.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like they've sort of done good with the levels as well. I think that's something. If you go back to something like Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, Call of Duty's been experimenting with that. They said, like in Black Ops, you could be on the first floor, you could be on the second floor, even a third floor. And then I think when they came out with Modern Warfare 3, they said, we think we went too many levels, so we lowered it so you couldn't have that many people engaging you at once. And I think, I don't know where they're going to go with Black Ops 2, but they've discussed that. I think it's something Medal of Honor has sort of got right. There's usually only maybe a floor and a second floor, and you don't have too many, and I've never felt like, oh my god, I have so many places to check. Right. I have to I feel like you can sort of move, you can learn these spots where they can get to you, they're obvious, they can get good sights on you.
It's not sensory overload though, yeah.
I like that. I think that's something that a lot of games struggle with, You don't make it too flat, but don't make it too multi-leveled. So I'm enjoying that. And Papa, you want to go next, talk about the maps at all? Anything you're liking there?
Yeah, well, like pretty much everybody else, the only one that I can think of in terms of name is Sugar Valley, and that was the one I was playing Sector Control on. I actually, a little bit of plug here, I posted a video of a Sector Control game this morning, may as well. That map I really liked because I guess like all of the maps, there were plenty of routes everywhere. So if you were getting pinned down somewhere, you had an alternative way, and there was also lots of cover. So if you wanted to, you could really play a stealthy game. You didn't have to just run out in the middle of in the open and allow yourself to get taken out. If you wanted to take things a bit slower, you can you can sort of move slowly around the map and flank the bad guys and as I said, the maps really are enjoyable.
Yeah.
It's sort of kept me engaged. Well, basically since I picked it up from the store. So.
Yeah, I agree. They're good looking, and it's fun to learn them. And also, so Culprit, I mean, what are you thinking so far about them?
Well, to be honest with you guys, I'm going to go against the grain here.
Okay.
One of my big concerns of this game is the maps. I just feel like I feel very claustrophobic. I mean, obviously, that comes from playing Battlefield 3 for so long, but I would just worry that, and this is because this is what happened in Black Ops, and these remind me very much of Black Ops maps. Replayability. I mean, how many times can you play these over and over and over and over and over again? And I'm kind of concerned because the only thing we know coming, there's only 8 maps, which isn't a lot, but the game modes differentiate quite a bit, which is good. There's only 2 maps coming down the road.
Yeah.
I worry about the longevity of these maps. I mean, they're fine. Like choke points aren't necessarily a bad thing. I enjoy choke points.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite maps in Battlefield 3 are the tighter urban choke pointy maps. Especially with these maps, they do have the flank routes, but I just feel very claustrophobic. I feel like there's almost too much cover. It's headshots or head glitches all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to give me cover where the guy can hide behind it, I can't shoot him? Fine, don't let him shoot me too,
Mm-hmm.
There's just a lot of head glitch spots. I don't dislike them, and a lot of it I understand is probably on me, not knowing the map, being a noob, but it just made me realize I am way more of a sandbox guy than I am of a arena shooter.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what this game said it was all along, so I don't have a gripe with it. I just worry about the longevity of it. Like, how many times can I play on these maps?
That's a good point.
They're not going to be as dynamic as, and I guess that leads me to my next, and I don't know if I'm going out of subject, but there's really very little destruction. There's not very dynamic at all. Like, I don't expect buildings to come down, but if I shoot through a clay wall, I want it to blow up, and I guess we've gotten used to that at this point, and I kind of was disappointed by that. So, I mean, I don't mind the maps, but I just that's one of my big worries about this game. I don't know how many times I can play, because the images and the graphics are different, but they just feel like the same old kind of maps that I've played in Call of Duty and things like that. So,
you guys
personal preference,
comment on that?
That's one of my worries.
Pappa or Bandito, you guys want to
comment? Yeah, I agree with him. Yeah, I agree with you, Culprit. I don't think micro-destruction is implemented at all.
No,
I think, even when you shoot at the trucks or the cars that are around some enemies, some of them don't explode.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird sometimes. Some of the oil containers explode. I think there is one map that has oil containers similar to Cart Island.
True. I mean, I shoot at the huts and nothing happened. I literally tried to shoot through a fence and not killed somebody.
I guess you'd wonder what they had to, what they implemented in the game that meant they had to not put that destruction in.
Yeah.
There's obviously other things that are taking up the engine's power, horsepower, that they weren't able to implement it. Right. I mean, I'm sure they would have if they could have.
Yeah, you look at other games, and I think it's something that probably is not easy to do, probably pretty labor-intensive, and I don't know, thinking this game, I'm sure the developers on release were worried how the game's going to do. And I don't want to really go in there with sort of wrap up with this, but, maybe they didn't see it worth it in their time for profit. I don't know.
I think in this day and age, we need to have at least micro-destruction. Like, if I shoot through a wood wall, a wall, somebody's hiding behind a window, I should be able to shoot below that window and do damage. At this point, I think that's expected. Like I said, I've shot through chain link fences in Warfighter and not hit a guy, and that's just kind of like it.
In the beta, the chain link fences were impenetrable.
Yeah, it's kind of it hurts your confidence. You kind of now it's like suspect. You're like, really? Like next time you're going through a palm bush and you're like, can I shoot him? I don't know. Like, should I give away my position or not?
What I like though is for the different game modes, they don't utilize necessarily the same part of the map though.
I do too.
So that is like. You get a whole new experience every game mode on the map. You're like, oh, I know this part of the map, and I've never seen this part.
I agree.
All right, you guys want any other comments sort of on the maps and responding to Culprit or bringing up any other topics that you guys have?
No, I was thinking a little bit about the micro-destruction. When I don't recall, they actually I think somebody said that they didn't advertise micro-destruction.
Yeah.
But they advertise micro. They actually. What's the name of this? It's not micro-destruction. They call it. It's like similar to close quarters. It's not micro-destruction, but they refer to lighting or they refer
dynamic
to
environments.
That thing.
Yeah.
It's all a marketing job. I mean, and they tout the Frostbite 2 engine. What is the Frostbite 2 engine? It's destructible environments. I mean, they don't have to say it probably because they knew they weren't delivering. They might, that was low on the list, as Pappa was saying. But like I said, I don't want buildings to blow up. I don't need all that. But you know, if I'm shooting little things like crates and barrels and things, they should move. Or you throw a grenade next to a barrel, it should move at this point. It's not a game killer. It's just kind of at this point, you know, I expect a certain level of immersion, and you know, it's not there, which is disappointing.
Yeah. Papa, you got any closing comments on this before we move to the next topic?
I'm good, mate.
All right, let's jump into classes and kits, and so I'd love to hear, you know, what your favorite classes are, what you guys have played, what you guys haven't tried yet, and what you're thinking of them. And then, you know, if you want to go in more detail about what you're setting up that kit, you know, within that class, what guns you use and what kind of sights. If you have any ideas of what your favorites are yet, I know it's soon. We haven't unlocked much because the unlocks here are pretty slow. So we can we'll start there. And Papa, if you want to start us off, what you like, what you don't like, and
well, 90% of the games I've played have been with Assaulter, using the Australian SASR. So, and
that was the first I saw that.
And I really liked it. They've got an assault rifle, the EBR, which has got a good red dot sight on it. I don't like the zoom scopes. I like having the red dot so you can handle things sort of up close.
Yeah.
And that works well. I must admit, probably what's limited me going out there and trying other things is that I'm still really getting a hang of the whole menu thing and you know, changing around, and I'm finding that sometimes it does things that are a bit sort of hard to understand. You know, you sort of change from assaulter to heavy gunner, and all of a sudden it'll change you from being an Australian into a Canadian and all that sort of stuff. So I have gone out and I think I've had a go in the game with every single class, but the assault, I just kept coming back to the assaulter. It just seemed more comfortable for me. And the gun was set up the way I liked it. Yeah,
I have to admit, you know, just building off that, is that, like, in-game, it's sort of hard when you're like, oh, I wish I could just try out a new thing real quick. But it's like, there's so many steps to go through the menu, scroll down, then scroll over. It's like, I'm not going to do it mid-game.
Where you can just basically, you know, hit on the button, you have your gun, you just go quickly change scope, quickly change suppressor, heavy barrel, quickly change, you know, the next thing, underslung. And you're back in the action, whereas this one, it really is, you think to yourself, I don't want to lose 10 minutes out of the game
and then
by customizing my gun.
And then it doesn't say, and you can only do it in the match, which is, I don't know, all games do that. I don't understand. They give you 35, 40 seconds in between that you can't do anything. And then you have to, like, stand there and wait while the game match is going on just to change a class, and they make it so hard to do.
You know, and that's something Battlefield 3 struggled on,
that's
too.
All games.
Like,
that's just not,
Alright, so Assaulter is your go-to right now. You said you tried out all of them. Do you have one you were sort of like, I'm probably not going to touch this for a while? Or are you sort of like, I could see myself trying them all a little bit more?
Well, probably the two that, I guess, underwhelmed me. One was I think it's the heavy gunner, the one with the armor, where he pulls down the mask.
Okay, no, that's Demolitions.
Demolition. That, I didn't really see a lot of benefit in that one at all.
Okay.
I liked the heavy gunner with the light machine gun. The other one that everyone was talking about from the beta, and I was really looking forward to giving a go to, was the Point Man. I think people were talking about that being the OP class for some reason. There was some talk about that, and I gave it a go, and I didn't sort of just turn my game around and make it that I was killing everybody. I found it a lot harder to use than the assaulter class.
Yeah, Clouded in the chat here, he gave us all caps, point man, exclamation marks, Gazor, so I think he's loving it, but it's preference, definitely. I think that's different ranges, different speeds. It's nice that the kits are, I don't feel unbalanced. It's just, they're different, but it's like...
Yeah, I think it's a matter of just spending the time with them. And for right now, I'm enjoying Assaulter, but, you know, eventually I'll want to really go in and try something else, give it a really good go. But for now, it's Assaulter for me.
Yeah, I can't get away from Spec Ops. It's not the vision. It's the I get in another guy. I feel so slow. Which is probably detrimental to my game. I probably need to slow down. But it's just when I switch to Assault or whatever, I'm just like, oh
you and me both. We've talked in Battlefield 3. We get mad. We just move. It's like, die, no, go.
Especially here, not knowing the maps, I just run into ambushes, and I always find myself in the middle of four guys because it's never one guy. It's always at least two in this game. You know, so then it's like.
So how are you finding the Spec Ops vision though? Are you enjoying it, not using it, or?
That's tough to say. Like, it's obviously a powerful tool, But I'm right here right now. Like I feel like it gets me in more trouble because you're just SOL, pants are down while you're doing it, and I get a lot of my kills when I hear someone else doing it. Like I'll be against a wall and I hear that noise. Well, it's not me, so I guess it could be a teammate. But you get ready for an enemy.
Yeah.
And here comes Johnny Spec Ops coming around the corner.
Yeah.
So I try not to use it. Like if I'm on the front lines, I'll use it like when I just spawn in. All right, they're left, right, center, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I know I'm in a hot area, I try not to use it because I feel like it gives me away more than it helps me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, for me, I think I would say point man or maybe heavy gunner. And I mean, regarding the Spec Ops, I don't know what's the name of the ability. I don't know what they call it.
Spec Ops Vision. I think it's all they call it.
The wall hack.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's overpowered at all because it actually, when you use it, it kind of distorts your vision, and it lasts like 1 second.
Yeah.
So it's 1 second, and then it needs to recharge for 4 seconds or something.
And
like
it's
that.
so loud, like
that's my thing.
So I'm fine. I mean, I think all of them are different, and the only one that I don't see myself using it too much is the sniper.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a good sniper, and I think you don't have in the beginning any semi-automatic sniper rifle.
Did you snipe in Battlefield 3 a lot?
Not at all.
No.
I mean, I'm trying to get. I've never been a good sniper ever. I mean,
me either.
Never ever. So I don't want to waste my time.
Yeah.
Exactly. Let somebody else do that.
You're good at vehicles though. See, I'm not good at sniping or vehicles in Battlefield 3. So I'm so like.
I went into the sniper class this morning, and I think I played the Navy SEAL, which has the Macmillan 300 TAC.
Yeah.
And I think the default gun has a suppressor fitted to it.
Okay.
Because when I went in to shoot, and then it just made this little like, thump, and I thought I was real bizarre. How do I get this? I couldn't work out how to get the suppressor off. I thought if I'm going to fire a sniper rifle, I want it to be like a boom,
Especially
and really.
Since you like the sound.
Yeah. And it was just like thunk, like an air rifle or something. So I got to work out how to get that suppressor off and have it sounding like a real gun.
Yeah.
I feel like that gun kills me the most of anything in the game. I don't know what it is.
Maybe
because it's suppressed and I don't even see it coming. I'm just dead. And then you're looking like, what? And you're like, it just sticks out in my brain.
So Bandito, with the point man, what do you think? What point Pappa missing? Do you have anything? What sticks out of the point man that's making you like it so much?
I mean, it's not that I like it so much. I just think it feels nice. I don't know. Sometimes you don't have any reason. I mean, we still don't have statistics. We don't know how much damage the weapons do or stuff like that. It just feels nice when you're playing with that particular class.
Clouded says one of the guns gives you a 40 round plus mag in the gun. Have you used that gun? Do you know if you've unlocked that?
I don't know.
Okay, so
I don't know, man. Sometimes you unlock stuff and you don't even know how to access it later.
Yeah, the menu's so convoluted. It says like a number, like you've unlocked one thing. But I'm like, there's so many different. Point me to it. Show me where it is. I don't
Give
have
me a
all
link.
day. So I understand.
I mean, so far it's really confusing. I don't know if you guys played the beta. I'm pretty sure you played the beta.
I did.
But what I'm reading is that the menus are better compared to the beta. Is that true?
Honestly, I assume they said it is. I don't know that I see that many differences. Hopefully someone in the chat, you can fill us in. We'll sort of move on here, but if you know exactly what has changed with the menu, I don't see much at all, honestly. I think there's a different option now in the top bar. You used to have to go to soldier, then go to class setup, and now you can go to your kit right off the bat.
If they did change something, and then they did it even worse, that's a change, and it's still terrible. No.
Yeah,
you should have just saved the energy.
So that's the kits. While we're here on kits, I guess we can talk about score chains. If any of you guys maybe have a favorite score chain, why you pick offensive in this or why you pick defense. If you guys any score chains you're really liking?
I don't get a lot of score chains.
I haven't got many yet either.
Mine's the jammer. That's it.
I think you have the Apache, you have the mortar, you have the guided missile, I think. But I think the most important thing, and this, in my opinion, is that the score chains the score chains don't feel as overpowered as in Medal of Honor 2010.
Yeah, I heard.
Because in Medal of Honor 2010, you can be just back in the back of the map, and sniping all time and spawning just ranking, getting kills for doing anything basically. And
Yeah.
here it feels like they're more or less balanced.
Yeah.
And I don't have any complaints about it. I mean, I think
Good.
they're fine so far. So
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
the line of sight on them, like he's saying. You
Yeah,
can't just
yeah.
drop them on the. You have to be able to see what you're aiming at. I think that's a good, subtle change that changes everything. And there's better spawn system, so that helps alleviate some of the 2010 problems. But I like more, like I said. I mean, even though I'm not getting Apaches and things, I love the jammer just because I know people can't find me, and I can kind of operate how I want to.
Yeah.
The mortar's good for getting those people that are dug in, but
Yeah, we
I
got
don't have
checks
too
in the
much
thing
experience.
here saying mortar, but you can go on.
Yeah, I find that one useful.
Yeah. So, Papa, what about you? You got any score chain opinions yet, or
Well,
not?
Well, I guess the ones I've always gone for have been the offensive ones. The defensive ones, I think in Assaulter, the defensive one you can get is just smoke,
Yeah.
which isn't really that great and doesn't really hang around for that long.
No.
The one or two times I did use it, but that mortar strike is fantastic. When you know that you're losing your a particular flag in sector control, you've obviously got to get to a vantage point where you get direct line of sight. But once you do that, there's one or two easy kills there for you, and you can. So yeah, that's definitely my favourite.
Smoke is definitely Clouded brought it up.
Laser marking it. Yeah.
Sorry,
Go
no,
on,
please
mate,
go on.
I was just going to say that putting out the little binocular things or whatever it is and getting that laser pointed, you just know as soon as it goes locked, you just know that somebody's going to die, and it's good.
Clouded was mentioned here that the smoke is sort of he's not liking. I mean, any different opinions here? I feel like the smoke because it sort of blinds you as well.
It's not going to work as well just on these maps. I don't think they're just too tight.
No. All right. Well, let's move on now. Push over to the last topic we're going to talk about here, and that is going to be issues. And I'll keep this short. I guess we'll just say, we've talked about these great things, what we're enjoying, what we're not. We talked about a few issues. We already got VoIP. It's still not working on PS3. If you want to bring up any other issues that we think, should be patched, are patchable, are fixable, what's still glaring to us?
Spawning out of bounds. That's really a deal breaker.
Under the map.
See, I haven't seen that. I wonder. I've talked to someone else a few other people on Twitter and Xbox players, and most of us that we haven't seen. I haven't seen Xbox people complain yet. I'm wondering.
Sorry.
No, go on.
There is a map, I can't think of its name, but it's a jungle map where there is a sliver of land that's blocked off by jungle, and then it's got the outer bounds behind it, and a couple of times a game you'll spawn in there and you can't get out of it. There's no way to actually get into the main play arena, and basically all you can do is stay there, and enemies on the other side will lob in grenades, and they can kill you, but you can't actually see anybody to shoot. That's all you can do. You just have to throw down a grenade at your feet and suicide and hope you spawn somewhere else.
There's a respawn button, I think, in the menu, isn't there? Because I spawned under the map today, and there was a respawn button. Maybe that's just a PC thing, though. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
You have to. There's not a suicide option that I know of in the menu. All you have to do is just throw a grenade at your feet, but then of course you obviously record a death. So
right.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it shouldn't happen. Right. Absolutely.
Really though, I don't know if anyone playing Xbox has seen these issues yet, and I don't know if maybe that's because they said they did the beta on the Xbox because the Xbox had the most issues, right? I don't know if maybe when they came in to fix, they fixed all these things on Xbox, but they didn't. They thought they weren't existent on PC or PS3. I mean, I can't say that for sure, but it sounds like maybe that's what happened. They came into Xbox, they fixed all our issues, and they didn't catch some of the issues on the other platforms. Maybe.
Right. I have a question, not so much an issue, but one thing I noticed when I was playing is that, coming from Battlefield, I kept trying to hit the select button and trying to spot people. But I noticed today while I was playing, between rounds when it loads up, it has those hint lines that come across the screen that say, whatever, help your buddy, give him health. And one came across the screen that said, make sure you spot enemies.
There is a key for it, yep. It's the same on PC as it is same on PC for both Battlefield and this, but I don't know what it does.
Does it work?
I don't know. We've had the same discussion.
I've been hitting the select key, which is what you use on PlayStation, constantly, and I haven't been able to spot.
Anyone here in the chat know about spotting on consoles, or if it works on PC. We got Whitey in here. Whitey, welcome.
It definitely doesn't do the triangles, like the 3D triangles. Yeah. But I wonder if it puts them on the mini map. I just never check. I'm always.
Well, it might do that. I can't say. Look, I've been looking for some sort of indication, like a triangle or something.
No, it definitely doesn't do that. I know that.
Yeah, on PC we had a few people saying Q. Clouded, who's also on PS3, said it's not working yet for him.
Okay.
Select,
I haven't seen anything happen.
If it's going to be part of the game, that's great, because I really enjoyed having that mechanic, and I think it's a great tool.
I
hope they fix it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, when you throw with new people and maybe you don't have good call-outs, you can just, I spot an enemy, check, and then you just know, enemy spotted. You can at least look at the minimap and be like, oh, great, I see him. That's all the call-out I need. I know where the enemy's at, so that's nice. Oh, so we have Chet's is in here saying, I think spotting is only with sniper, support stance. We'll have to get into that.
No, actually, if you use the heavy gunner, and you deploy the bipod, you have a minimap, and it actually shows the enemies.
Yeah.
Like you are spotting them. Okay. So I don't know if this is similar.
So maybe it's a class specific.
But this is something we'll have to. Obviously, I apologize anyone watching wanting answers that we. The game's just out. It's only been out, and for Pappa, I think you just got the game yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Australia it released later, so we'll have to look at it and try to figure this out.
Really difficult questions.
Yeah, it's good. It's got some things to think about, which is good, and hopefully we'll be able to figure that out.
Nova's saying the same thing, and he's saying Skulls, who he's played an ungodly amount already. He's saying it's only Sniper too. So, I mean, it would kind of make sense. Like it would be more of a recon kind of thing, but
okay.
Yeah, it's confusing for sure. I had the same thought. So.
And any other issues we haven't mentioned, and we've sort of talked about. We've talked about a few things. Anything we've left out that maybe?
My biggest issue is I just feel like I die way too quick. I feel like they need to tone it down. I don't know if it's a headshot multiplier or what. I can't be getting headshot all the time.
Do you feel like it's connectivity issues ever?
I don't feel like I'm lagging too bad. I mean, I struggle killing people, but that's just me with my aim. But I just feel like I'm dropped so quick, and it's frustrating. So I hope it's going to improve as I get better. And obviously, this is everybody that's played it knows it's more of a cover-to-cover game. It's not a running gun game at all. But I just feel like I get shot way too quick.
Yeah.
And some of you guys have played more. I mean, like I said, I struggle with shooting people. Now, is there attachments later on that can kind of lessen recoil and make the guns a little easier to handle, or is this just the mechanics of the game? Because, like I said, I haven't gotten very deep in any one class.
Yeah.
I think it's a glitch or bug. Somebody's mentioning that also the gun, when you reload it, it doesn't actually does the animation. I think this is a Battlefield.
Much all the time for me. Very rarely do you actually see an animation.
Yeah. Yeah, I've noticed that sometimes as well, actually.
That was definitely a part of beta on Xbox. I had that all the time. I can't say I've noticed it on PC yet, though.
Yeah, it's there's definitely.
I don't think if this problem is still happening, but on Tuesday, I was playing. I think I played like 5 hours, and then I exited the game, and then I came back, and it looks like my stats didn't save, I had to actually play again the game.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but I don't know if this is still happening or somebody's experiencing the same thing.
I've heard a few complaints of that.
Well, I know if you change your gun and stuff, and you sometimes it doesn't save. I mean,
I don't know what the hell. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know if this is still happening.
I've actually had that in game where I've gone in, I've changed my, say, from Assaulter to Spec Ops, and then I've died. In some games, it keeps me as Spec Ops, but in other games, when I spawn back in, it'll take me back to Assaulter. So that's another issue I've come across.
Definitely. A lot of little things, I think. Everything we've mentioned seems like it's fixable, though. Sometimes you see an issue and you're like, I don't know if this is going to be fixed because it's sort of a big task. But it's looking good. Well, what I want to do is try to wrap up here. We've gone, I think, 50 minutes so far, so I'm going to try to wrap it up. And everyone's here, guys, is going to stay for at least a little bit of an after show, so we'll maybe relax a little bit, chat a little bit more about the game, maybe talk about some other things. So for you guys in the Twitch chat, please stay put. We're going to be right back. You guys watching on YouTube, we really appreciate you coming by. Make sure you guys click on these channels. And if you want to see the after show, it's linked in the description. You can watch that as well. So happy gaming, everybody, and thanks for showing up, guys.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.